Here we go, and welcome back to episode 3 of Talking Loyal. And what a weekend it has been on and off the field. Today's episode captures the highlights of the weekend with in-depth breakdown of selection of games, along with much, much more.
Evening, Tate. How are we?
Very well, thank you, very well.
Good
and
stuff.
yourself?
Yeah, all good, all good. Another exciting weekend. I think we can only start in one place, though. Should we start with your beloved Arsenal?
Let's start. There's a few games we're going to talk about this evening, but let's start the Emirates, as that was the early Saturday kickoff, or the earliest one we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, let's do it.
We didn't get to watch the game live, as we were parting it up at Sundown Festival 2022.
Yeah, thank you to the Theobalds
for hosting us.
Yeah, another lovely event, which led into the evening. But yeah, like Tate said, we sadly didn't get to see any of the football, any of the action. But we kept up to date with it on our phones and whatnot. I kept running over to Tate saying that Jesus scored another goal and another one.
Being a 3 o'clock kickoff, it ended roughly about 5:15, and then I could have a few beers before the main event started.
Yeah.
Two main events, shall I say. We have the Brentford Man United game we'll be talking about, but also a big shout out to Darren Kindle-Brown for a fantastic performance between 6 and 8 on the decks.
Yeah. I think I was a bit more nervous than him, but no, I think everyone enjoyed it and it went down very well.
It's a lovely evening and fantastic day. Made even better by Arsenal getting the 3 points and moving top of the league for.
Yeah,
although they didn't move top of the league for a couple of hours, my mistake, because Man City also won. But going back to the Gooners, started off good first half, 2 good goals from Jesus.
Yeah,
first goal especially lovely little finish.
Like we keep saying, we just got notifications through, but when you saw the highlights and whatever else happened after, it just looked. I mean, I wasn't confident in Arsenal, but I just thought Arsenal at home
against your bogey team, Leicester,
exactly.
Your team,
and you were slightly different. A lot of Arsenal fans were maybe a bit apprehensive about it, but I could only see one winner that day, and it came true. But yeah, Jesus flying, absolutely flying at the minute.
First goal especially. Have you seen the goals back?
Yeah, the first goal was
lovely little chip finish.
Yeah, sadly, you have to admit it was a beautiful finish.
Second goal was a proper striker's instinct finish, right at the back stick.
Yeah,
after a lovely flick on from Vardy.
Yeah. Right place, right time, and 2 goals for Jesus. So yeah.
And looking pretty comfortable, and then one long ball ends up in our back of the net.
Yeah.
But like the third goal and the fourth goal we scored I think it was 90 seconds and maybe like 95 seconds straight after Leicester scored, which straight away stops the crowd from getting anxious. And
Leicester were looking like they were getting back in the game, and then Arsenal just went up the other end and scored.
One thing with the 2 Leicester goals, I do think that Ramsdale should have done better on both, personally.
Do you reckon?
I think the first one he rushes out probably a bit too much.
Yeah,
the second one he's got to save that.
Yeah.
Or it's between his legs, which is hard because he can't stand with his legs open. But
yeah,
it's a tight angle, and it's
like you said, there was no angle almost, and
Alisson doesn't get beaten by that.
Through.
Yeah, no. I think he should have saved that.
Lloris saved that.
He'd be disappointed with that. But then Danny Ward, another shocker for the third goal.
Yeah, what was he doing?
Came out, crossed it.
Stinker.
Came out, went to catch it, and
claiming it with one hand. What was he up to?
Fumbled it, and
he just. I know when goalies make a mistake, it obviously inevitably leads to a goal, but he just knew straight away. As soon as he sort of reached out with that right hand, he knew that he'd messed up.
And who scored the third goal? Was it Jack?
I can't remember. Do you want to remind me?
Who are you slagging off about 20 minutes before that goal went in?
I can't. I've lost his name. I really.
The Swiss magician. Goal and assist.
I can't believe he plays you. He's awful.
And he's
awful.
We've got a nice little feature coming a bit later, and he's very unfortunate to miss the car, I think. But my bias aside, no, he played well. No, big Granit Xhaka, shout out to them. And then Martinelli finished it off with a cracking goal, to be fair.
Yeah, it was nice finish. What's that, 2-2 for Martinelli?
2-2 for him, yeah.
Getting a good start, him and Jesus, off to a flyer.
The Brazilian boys.
Yeah, they you do look, and there's definitely a few people getting carried away and whatnot, but we are only 2 games in, and you've played Crystal Palace and Leicester at home. Crystal Palace away, first game of the season, difficult. Friday night, under the lights, I agree, that's a difficult game.
You can only win who's in front of you, but 2 relatively simple games on paper, you would imagine.
And you should win. And your next, I think, you got Bournemouth away next. You got Bournemouth away.
Yeah, Bournemouth away, and then Fulham at home, followed by Villa at home.
Yeah, and those 3
and
in a
then,
row. And this,
then United.
Yeah, the big test, the real test, the best team in the league. But
no, it's a nice start, and we're looking okay. Like it's so much nicer, and Arsenal look so much better with a centre forward.
Yeah, I think
we haven't had a centre forward.
Yeah, I've spoke to a few people, and yeah, I think Jesus is a game changer for you, and Zinchenko is a good addition, and obviously that Saliba's looked like he started well. But I think Jesus is the big difference. To
the only negatives I can take out of it is obviously 2 sloppy goals, and again only 4 minutes this week for the main man, Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah, I mean, he's still
he's still levelling goals with Man United. So game week 2, we're getting there.
But yeah, I think that's the only issue with your claim, is that will he actually play, or will he play enough?
He'll play enough once the season gets going and the Europa League kicks off. He'll get minutes.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
He'll get more minutes if it was 2-2, 20 minutes to go, he comes on.
True, maybe yeah.
When we're 3-1 up,
do you think when that happens he'll leave Jesus on, or will he just straight swap? No.
Yeah, no. I think he'll move him out wide, and bring him on to play centre forward, or vice versa. Maybe play him out wide and leave Jesus there. Maybe if Martinelli or Saka's not performing, then that might be the change.
God's child.
But still to get off the mark, but he'll get there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
it was again
pretty routine.
Yeah, routine win and 4-2.
Moving on from Arsenal, and then shall we go to Nottingham Forest versus the massive West Ham?
A huge club in East London.
What's the 1:30 game, wasn't it, on Sunday? Watching that with a pretty bad hangover, pretty tired after sleeping in a boiling hot tent.
Yeah, waking up in my mate's field. It's probably not an ideal place on a Sunday morning, but it did happen.
With Freddie Bourne snoring next to you.
Yeah, Freddie Bourne cuddling me, not sharing the blanket. I'll never forget that, Freddie.
I sort of fancied Forest in that first game. Newly promoted team at home, first game is never easy.
No, and like you said, their first home game as well, and they Newcastle away with their first week, and I thought they looked pretty shoddy, didn't they?
Against Newcastle.
Yeah, and I think their home form is what will
potentially keep them up.
Exactly, yeah, potentially keep them up. But yeah, we get onto West Ham, and there's probably a lot of very disgruntled West Ham fans about the weekend, but I didn't think Forest were terrible. They weren't.
Forest came out the blocks flying, to be fair.
I didn't think they were that bad.
First 10-15 minutes, but then West Ham weathered that storm.
Yeah.
And then they started getting into it. They got the goal disallowed for it. One was offside, and
one was Antonio.
Antonio's
ploughed for him.
I
have to say that was. I can't believe the refs given a foul and not allowed the goal. I really. I don't understand. I don't know what's Antonio meant to do. He's just running full pelt. He's a big boy.
He's a big old lad, isn't he?
He's an absolute unit, and he's run full pelt. The defenders sort of stood his ground, but then they were both sort of moved. It just wasn't a foul. Like, even me explaining it now, it's hard to explain because nothing really happened, and it just should never have been disallowed. And I think West Ham was at 1-0 at the time, or
would have been 1-0, I think. Yeah, because they scored in the 45th plus 2 minute.
Yeah, and
Forest shocking goal.
Oh God, it was just bundled in the net. And I'm sure West Ham fans just say it's like typical West Ham, but
it was a typical, just awful lucky goal.
Yeah, it was cut back to Lingard, wasn't it? And
it's shot and deflected,
and then it's hit Johnson, and then the bloke just stood there, hit shot.
Yeah.
It's just again another.
No idea what that striker was, but they signed him from the Bundesliga for like 15 mil.
Yeah, I think he was Union Berlin striker last year and had a relatively good season there. I think it's just a big old punt, I think, from Forest. He looks pretty awful.
He gets 6 to 7 goals.
I mean, that was his goal, and I think that sums him up really. Just might be a bit of a nuisance every now and then, but yeah, that goal was shocking.
But then coming into the second half, West Ham came out flying. They had that. Was it a free kick? Or was it the
free kick? Smacked the bar.
Ben Rama, was it, or Fornals? One of the two. I think both of them hit the bar at one stage.
Yeah,
both smashed down, hit the line.
I know. I'm pretty sure it was Ben Rama smacked the bar.
And then after that was I was texting Jack during the game, and then our WhatsApp group went how the ref didn't see it was a penalty in the first place, and then VAR not to send him off.
I
mean, my God, come on, man.
Yeah, no, the handball was.
They were saying on commentary it was because the goalkeeper was behind him, but there's no guarantee he's going to save it.
Yeah, it's just a red card. Surely that's a red card, and like some lads are saying, like you said, the goalie's behind. Well, no, the bloke was just literally dove, and it's so obvious that it's hit his arm, hit his hand, whatever.
Yeah, you've made a save.
Yeah, and
you've made a save and stayed on the pitch.
It's ridiculous. I just couldn't believe it, and
then
take it away.
Decker's steps up. That's the problem with West Ham recently. They haven't had, since obviously the GOAT is retired now.
The GOAT. Mark Noble, rest in peace.
Penalty takers for West Ham. No one's really ever stepped up apart from Noble when they've had.
Yeah. But
Lanzini's taken a few. I think Fornals might have taken a few. Antonio.
I'd still believe Rice would have.
Because Rice has missed a couple before, I think. Because when Lingard was around, they used to share him a bit.
It was a poor strike. He just did that classic where he cut across as a right footer and he just dragged it. And
good save
the gone the right way and made the save. But yeah, like I said, West Ham smacked the bar, missed a penalty. Goal should have been allowed in the first half. And they've lost the game 1-0. And like we'll go on to, but Henderson. Brilliant
performance, and especially really considering what happened to the Manchester United goalkeeper 24 hours before. He
made some unbelievable saves. That one when it was like the second.
Yeah, they hit the bar, didn't they? Come down in Antonio's header,
and he plucked it out of nowhere.
It's fantastic save. Well, if he keeps playing like that, then he's got to be in a shout for third choice goalkeeper.
Well, for England, possibly,
as well as
I don't see why not.
Nick Pope as well, because he had another good game.
Yeah,
another clean sheet. Two clean sheets now.
Yeah, didn't really see the Newcastle game, but what I've seen and heard is that Nick Pope was brilliant against Brighton.
And I think he'll have a better chance going forward than he would have done at Burnley. Last 2 seasons at Burnley, he hasn't been great, and they've been atrocious. So.
Maybe he's in a better side. He's probably a bit more confident. He's got more confidence in his back four. So.
And then the next Sunday game was the end of Super Sunday, the Battle at the Bridge 2.0.
The Battle at the Bridge, here we go.
Now that is always a feisty little game, and made better that Chelsea fans hate Anthony Taylor.
Yeah,
and I always love to wind up the gaffer. Shout out Reece Johnson.
They have some sort of agenda against him, but I think he's a great referee.
He's a superb ref, Anthony Taylor, refereeing 2 great performances in the FA Cup final in 2017 and 2020, I think it was. Yeah. I forget the years because we've got 14 of them.
Boring.
But no, it started off prediction-wise. Last week you were very confident going in first.
Well, I think a lot of Tottenham fans were slightly confident, but we also, typical Chelsea way, we know what's happened in the past, and we expect to lose almost, which is probably a poor mindset. But I thought going into it after the first week as well that Chelsea didn't really set the world alight, and I thought, we'll do a job. Conte, it's his old club. He's got his plan. He knows what he wants to do. But that didn't come into fruition.
Just didn't start well, I don't think. Started a bit slow, maybe a little bit nervous, and Chelsea had a few good chances.
Yeah, no, we were awful. We were awful for the whole game. The whole time we were awful. But I do say that Chelsea were brilliant. They Tuchel, whoever the players, whatever they sorted out, and
had a great game plan.
They absolutely just pinned us in our own half.
Yeah.
We couldn't get out. When they had the ball, they were obviously just attacking and keeping the ball. But then when they lost it and we tried to regain it and start our attacks or start possession, they were either in the right place already or just on us within
I remember
seconds.
one sort of half chance you had with Kulusevski, won the ball on the halfway line, and then the pass was a little bit off to Son and whatnot.
Yeah, we struggled massively the whole game, and like we said, yes, Tottenham were bad, but Chelsea just sorted us out completely. And like for example, every time it went into Kane's feet, it was either James. If it wasn't James, Koulibaly was right up him, either nipping in front or just giving him enough pressure to make him make a mistake. It was like, as a Chelsea fan, you're probably absolutely buzzing, and they were for half time 1-0 up. They were obviously over the moon, and
cracking finish from Koulibaly, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
weak foot volley corner. That looked like a goal of FIFA that you scored, and you just think,
and that bloke will never hit a ball like that ever again.
Tried to overhead kick as well, didn't he?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But again, that corner, what were we doing? Tottenham's marking.
Oh, shocking.
But we could turn up to Stamford Bridge to start doing zonal marking.
Is that a new thing?
I've never seen it before, especially not there.
Yeah.
And Koulibaly just found himself in yards of space and just connected with an absolute
That's just an absolute belter,
it was a ridiculous strike, absolutely ridiculous strike. But no one was near him, and I don't know what was going on for the first goal.
And then Chelsea should have made it 2-0 numerous times, I think.
Yeah.
Sterling missed a couple, Havertz missed a couple.
Yeah, Havertz early on, didn't he? The first chance, Lloris made a good save.
And then you made a change about, was it Basuma came on, didn't it? Was he the first change you made?
No, Richarlison.
Richarlison, that was it. He looked different to what you were already...
I'm glad he come on.
And he came on for Sessegnon, didn't he?
Yeah, we went to a 4-4-2, and then that's when they scored their...
You just looked more direct.
Scored their second.
The first thing he did was the ball was straight over the top, and he chased it down, and that hadn't happened all game.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we weren't vastly improved when he came on, or even in the second half, but he just gave it. Not necessarily him, but we changed formation, and we stepped up the pitch a little bit further, and we chased a little bit more. We put a slight bit more effort in, and I'm glad Richarlison came on. I think next week potentially he could start instead of Son, instead of Kane, Kulusevski, whoever it might.
He just looked different. It looked something you hadn't had before.
Yeah,
when normally you bring on your Kane backup and it's Victor Janssen or Clinton and G.
Yeah, Vinicius Junior. it's just terrible. So,
but it's
and then even the midfield, we bring on likes of Lo Celso and Dombele. It's just, they're not going to change it. Winks, like what was Winks do? Pass it sideways and backwards and let's not talk about it.
But no, and then it was the Viking himself got the equaliser.
Højbjerg, the biggest fraud.
It get deflected, didn't it?
No, clean strike. No, it was. But Højbjerg, he's another frustrating player to watch. So frustrating, but it was a great strike, absolutely great strike. But it's from nothing. We didn't really threaten in any way, or we weren't building up pressure, and then we scored a goal. We just out of nothing.
And as much as the celebrations were going on in the away end, and we did see Jack's brother and his dad.
Yeah, they were
getting a bit lively.
They were giving it limbs, and rightly so.
There was also some trouble on the touchline as well.
Yeah,
that was round one, wasn't it?
The Conte Tuchel tussle. It was pretty bizarre, but it was all because of the main man, Anthony Taylor. So
that seems to happen quite a lot though with Conte when he's down there. He's had some ex Chelsea managers, so I say they love to get in a little wind up with the fans.
Yeah, no, but we
caused trouble down there.
We'll go into it a bit more, but I don't.
There was a foul though on Havertz though, but it was.
Do you reckon? I'm not.
I think it was a foul.
There's many angles, and I potentially could see it.
But then that happens all the time. But you do. But was it a minute, 90 seconds after?
That's what I was about to say. It was after.
It's not the first phase of play.
There's so much happened after that. And then Jorginho in his own.
But don't get me wrong, the goal shouldn't have been disallowed.
No.
But it probably was. I don't know. You see him given, you see him done.
Yeah, and because the ref sees that obviously.
Yeah.
First time in real speed, and he's got to make a decision. The linesman's got to see it, and they obviously didn't. They didn't want to make a decision.
You can't be disallowing goals for things that happened 90 seconds before.
No, and Jorginho flicks it in his own box, and no one's talking about Jorginho with the horrible mistake he made. And then they're trying to talk about the offside, which I don't know. It's hard because on
is that for the second goal?
No.
Sorry.
Richarlison's obviously he's in offside position, but does he interfere with Mendy? No. Who knows? I don't think so.
No.
I think there was many excuses from Chelsea as usual. So,
but I think Chelsea bounced back from that pretty well because they had the chance with Reece James's cross to Havertz. Oh my God, how did he miss that?
Yeah, they didn't change the way they played. They were brilliant all game.
I think Sterling had another chance he missed. And then finally, Reece James slotted one away.
Yeah.
Poor defending, I think, that from you to have that much space open.
Yeah, but again, it was just a theme of the whole game, and that we got it. I think we were penned in our corner, our right-hand side corner, and then it was knocked into Kulusevski, who's surrounded by 2 or 3 players, lost the ball, and that was when we just changed to the 4-4-2. So Son was supposedly meant to be left in field. He's like wandering forward, still concerned about scoring goals when Kulusevski is in trouble. He's got his back to their goal, if you like. So he's not even facing forward. He's going to lose the ball. Son's just wandering about. They shift the ball across, and James smashed it home. But we were just so open. It was just, and that like I said, it was just a theme of the game. Chelsea were on top. We were we just looked lost, and we just had nothing about us once again at the bridge. It was pretty.
And then that's when Thomas Tuchel decided to start round 2 and sprint down the touchline.
Hang on, everyone's moaning about Conte and the fouls and the reffing and all this and that, but Tuchel's allowed to run the length of the pitch to the corner flag.
Have you seen Conte's Instagram post about that?
I
Being
did
a little
see
petulant
that,
little schoolboy.
That was.
If I'd have seen you, I'd have chipped you over.
Taking it to social media.
Sake.
Pretty immature.
Managers can't go on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know why they got Instagram.
And when it posted like at 2 a.m. as well.
And he's in control of it as well. Just if you're gonna have it, don't post anything, but also just let someone else do it.
I quite find it quite funny, but yeah.
But yeah, again, a lot of Chelsea supporters and people we know and stuff are saying, "Oh, you celebrated a draw like you just won the league." I don't get that. Like Tuchel just gone 2-1 up, run down the level of the pitch, giving it limbs in the corner. But we equalised in the 96th minute after playing terribly.
I've got a point to make on that, which
please.
The celebration police. Come on, man.
Yeah.
If people are let people be happy, man. Life's hard anyway.
Just please give up.
If people want to celebrate, if people can't celebrate a 94th minute equaliser away in a London derby, then what the hell can you celebrate? Okay, everyone knows you didn't win, but
yeah, of course not. We didn't deserve to even score. Chelsea should have won the game 4 or 5-0, but they didn't. We've scored a last-minute winner against Chelsea, who we despise.
I was speaking to Jack the other day. One of the biggest I've celebrated is away at Liverpool. We drew 0-0.
Yeah.
I've come out of games and we've won, and I've been more disappointed because it was awful.
There's nothing better than the last-minute equaliser, winner, whatever it is nothing better. And to do it at the Bridge, where our record is horrendous.
Yeah.
And like I said, to take over the weekend, but I know someone we go to Tottenham with, Daryl Peacock. He's a great driving instructor if you're learning. But yeah, he's been going Chelsea away for like 38 years, something ridiculous, and never seen a win. He's never seen a win, Tottenham win at Chelsea.
So the 1 year that you did win, he didn't go?
No.
About 5 years ago, wasn't
it? He wasn't there. So he was there at the weekend. And of course, we're going to celebrate like that.
Yeah,
why wouldn't you? We just equalise. It's so bizarre.
That's the celebration police. Come on, pack it in. Yeah, and then obviously going on to the equalising goal, the first corner came in and the nutcase himself decided to start pulling hair.
Yeah, I don't know how he's got away with that.
But that must be some sort of rule that I don't know about. That if you have a corner and there's a foul, and look, how many times does the corner come in, you get pulled to the floor, and the ref goes, "I'll retake the corner again."
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, is it a foul? Is it not a foul? Like, VAR looks at it, going to send him off, and they decided it's not violent conduct. It's at least a yellow card.
It's pretty violent conduct.
Come on,
just yanked his hair, but the thing was.
But that just sums up VAR in this whole...
Yeah, but it also sums up the refs at the minute. The refereeing at the minute is shocking. Then, yes, Chelsea-Tottenham is the massive game on a Sunday, live on telly, but if you look at throughout the other fixtures as well, there was refereeing decisions.
Oh, it's
disgusting.
Just shambles, mate.
Awful. Absolutely awful.
But I when the corner came, it was a cracking corner. Who took the corner?
Perisic.
Yeah, it was a cracking corner. And then Kane's flick on and came off James and went in. But... the defending then was atrocious. Koulibaly all over the place.
There was
Mendy stuck right in his goal line.
Yeah, I think Kane, Lucas, and Richarlison were all waiting to head the ball in. So if it wasn't Kane, it was going to be one of the other two. And it was just a good ball. A good ball from Perisic. And that's what we say as well. Professional.
Ironically, the first, because that was nothing on the group chat. His first corner was absolutely drosh, wasn't it?
But that's because he took it from the other side. He took it with his right foot.
Yeah.
Then we had a free kick. He took with his right foot. And then somehow it went out for another corner. I think that was the goal. And then he's gone over to the other corner and took it with his left foot.
He's left foot though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a left-footed player. And he's taken... Well, obviously the confidence, their professional foot, great.
He's trying to be like Cazorla.
For me, it was just so frustrating to watch in the, like I said, the last few moments of the game. And we got huge opportunities to score. And Perisic taking a corner with his right foot. And it could have been brilliant. It could have whipped in and scored. But it wasn't going to happen. And on that as well, Son in the first half... It was, again, considering how bad we played, we had a free kick in a really dangerous position. And he's come over, took it with his left foot, ballooned it over into the stands. Sometimes you just think, what is going on in their brains?
And as that ended as a 2-2 draw, me and Jack are sitting here with a nice can of Peroni as I won the bet.
Yeah, I delivered some Peroni for Tate as
requested.
As you'd have heard last week, yeah.
I had 1-1.
I was like we said, very confident and said 2-0, but... Yeah, I was way off, and Tate wasn't far off.
And that was the end of the Sunday games. But before we move on to the big game, we all want to hear about Brentford Manchester United. We'll just have a quick break and we'll be back in a minute. Whenever United struggle, I can't help but laugh at the thought of all the lads at school back in the day who supported them just because they won every week. They had the smug grin on their faces come every Monday morning, who are now trapped in a long-term spiral of misery, entirely of their own making.
Brentford 4, Manchester United 0. Here we go, Tay. I think this is the only reason I think you're here tonight.
As the title of the podcast says, Manchester United in the mud.
They are properly in the mud, and what is happening
what is
at Old
happening?
Trafford?
I'll be completely honest here. As you know, I did not watch the game.
Yeah.
I was very, very drunk, but I did have it on my phone. When the notifications it went 1-0 after about 14 minutes. Arsenal's Josh Da Silva scored.
Yeah. Arsenal.
And then I actually thought it was just when your dad just about turned up. And I think I chatted to him for a little bit.
Yeah, it was about
we're all
10 to 6.
We're all getting focused on him doing the decks and that.
Yeah.
And I think he dropped his 1 or 2 songs.
Yeah.
And someone said to me, "Mate, it's 4-0." And I was like, he must be talking about the championship
Yeah,
game. The championship 4:30. Looked at my phone and was like, wow.
It just happened so quick. I just couldn't, like you,
So
I'm sure like Man United, you just couldn't believe what was going on. It was, I think, yes, it was like the 36th minute they scored their fourth, but from their first to the fourth, it was about 25
If
minutes.
that.
Yeah, it was absolutely mental.
Now it was about the time your brother turned up and was like, the state of them goals.
yeah. And
That's what made it even better, the state of the goals.
He'd seen something and went through the goals, and I think what he gave it sort of underwhelming report, and when you actually see what happened, oh my, it's awful.
So the first one, 100% De Gea. What are you doing? Threw it in the goal.
Yeah, just again similar to Danny Ward at Leicester. Like when a goalie makes a mistake, yes, it leads to a goal, but that De Gea, that was you can't. I've heard like Ben Foster trying to defend it and say, "Oh, it's bad techniques." Just no, I wouldn't expect me or you to do that.
Yeah, it's shocking.
It was the shot wasn't even powerful, and yeah, it was awful, absolutely awful.
So from last week, he'd made one change, and McSauce had been subbed out,
of course, yeah,
and Cristiano had been brought in.
Yeah, he was there,
and not that it made much difference.
No, that was
playing Christian Eriksen as a holding midfielder.
Yeah.
Not for me personally, but
no.
I mean, I can sort of see the idea, maybe trying to play like when Cazorla played there back in the day, but I don't think in that Man United team with Fred next to him, I don't think that's a good
Eriksen
solution.
Obviously spent a lot of his time at Tottenham, and he was a good player for us, but I'm again not his greatest fan, which is maybe a bit biased, whatever, on what I'm about to say, but yeah, he's just not good enough. He's not good enough for Man United. He's just.
I think it's such an underwhelming signing for them.
Yeah,
he is a good little player, but
then Bruno Fernandes is better.
Man United.
Bruno Fernandes in a 10 is far better than Eriksen. And right now, with the way it's going and the way people are playing and football's moving, the number 10 is almost.
You can see that
from football.
Deep line position is one they want. They're looking at Rabiot and whatnot.
But if that's going to be the plan, Eriksen's got to be surrounded by 10 brilliant players. And he's not. He's got, like you said, Fred, McSauce,
and especially when he gets dealt passes from De Gea like he did for the second goal. But even Eriksen's the one who loses the ball. But my God, you can't pass you can't pass the ball to him.
No, but in that situation, and I think on the highlights as well, they showed it. But maybe 5 or so minutes before, it was a carbon copy. Brentford didn't quite score, but Eriksen received the ball, lost out, threw his hands up in the air, and everyone had a bit of whatever, lost the ball straight away. And then 2-3 minutes later, De Gea, Eriksen just has it's really
Jensen got that second goal, didn't he?
Yeah, Jensen, and he's sort of, I would say, assisted De Silva in the first goal, but he won the ball in the initial point, which is.
I think he also got man of the match. I think that's who Sky gave it to in the end. And then the third goal was Mini Martinez. Mini Martinez caught the back stick.
Pinned down by Ben Mee.
By Super Ben Mee.
The substitute PE teacher. And Martinez obviously, yes, he's a fantastic footballer. Like he's definitely not a bad player, but he's quite simply, he sounds horrible, but he's not tall enough. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's my height. So imagine me, centre half, and Ivan Toney's climbing all over.
If
top
you're good
Ben
enough,
Mees all over.
If you're good enough, it sounds like you're good enough. You're tall enough because Mascherano played that position and was class. But Man United aren't good enough to play that, and obviously he's no. He might prove me wrong, but he's no Javier Mascherano.
No, and
he has also got that absolute slabhead brain fuck next to him.
Next to him, yeah. But then if we were just singling out that goal, that moment, Ben Mees literally waiting back post, like waiting on the back, and he's just going, "Oh, well, I'm basically next to a tiny man here. I'm just going to pin you down." He was just waiting for the ball, and he just nodded it home. And Martinez, there's nothing he could do about it. Literally nothing he could do about it. It was and then ridiculous to watch.
And then the fourth goal, that was actually a lovely move from Brentford, but my God, the defending on that.
Yeah, again though, they're just all over the place. Weren't they? Shaw got out. You can't really do much about it, but he was outpaced by Mbeumo. And Mbeumo put it away nicely.
Great pass from Ivan Toney.
Yeah, it was a good. Like I said, it was just a good goal. Just a very good goal, and 4-0.
And they made a triple sub at half time, I believe. But so Varane was on the bench. That's beggars belief. But I don't think he's been great for United. But he's better than better than Maguire.
He's a World Cup winner, Champions League winner.
Martinez. And McTominay then came on at half time, I believe. And there was one more that came on. I can't remember who else it was.
At this point, it's irrelevant. It's just irrelevant.
United were. I was watching it back a match. They're just absolutely awful.
Yeah. And you saw, I think, Ronaldo when it was 1-0. Ronaldo was saying, "Oh, only one goal," but they're just. I think they're just so. It's such a toxic environment to be in, and Ronaldo. I think I said last week or whenever, but
he needs to go.
I said he has to start if they want to do well.
Yeah.
But now, I think he's obviously part of the problem.
But that's the problem. The problem is they've got so many players like that. Where if they don't play, the people who don't play behind them are even worse. Even though they're probably less toxic. They're not good.
Yeah.
Like there's no. I don't know. Like if Ronaldo doesn't play up front, who are you playing? False 9, Ericsson, false 9, or
tried it in there,
Rashford.
Bruno,
Rashford was awful again. Like, I don't know what's happened to that bloke.
No.
Or are you playing the ice cold Anthony Martial?
No, they're
just they need a big reboot, and it takes years. Like I say, I don't feel sorry for them, but I don't feel sorry for them at all.
No.
But Neville and Carragher broke it down yesterday. They had all the transfers they've made since. Maybe it was at the post-Fergie era, and they had 2 green lights, which were a successful transfer, and that was Ibrahimovic and Bruno.
Yeah.
I think you could even put an asterisk next to Bruno for. He just seems an absolute twat.
Yeah, he does now.
Who seems toxic in that dressing room.
Yeah, because he's one of those leading players that like the considered better players. He's supposedly telling the Glaziers or the owners and the manager who they want. Oh, we need to get rid of him. But Bruno, you're part of the problem. Ronaldo, you're part of the problem. Yeah. Harry Maguire, you are the problem. So all these players are telling supposedly the people above them they need to do this, do that. But so what? The Ten Hag's going to turn around and go, okay, Bruno, you need to go then. Maguire, you need to go. Ronaldo, you need to go. It is a mental place.
What I think is the biggest issue so far, if I was a Man United fan, is the lack of change since last season. Obviously, they've changed the manager, but straight away, you've got to go in, change the captain.
Yeah.
Take it off Maguire. Yeah. It hasn't helped him. Mate, you still want to play him, it's fine, but it hasn't helped him in his performances at all.
No.
I would have given it to Varane probably.
Yeah.
He's got enough experience. World Cup winner, like you said, won those Champions League. Nobody had a great season last season, but first season Bellingham, maybe give him the benefit of the doubt. Give it to him. He knows how to set a winning culture.
Surely, yeah.
And then
you think so.
Play your signings.
Yeah.
Like he signed a new left back. Play him.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw.
But like Luke Shaw,
he's a good left back. But if you're signing, change the culture.
Do something different.
Do something different.
If you want to leave Ronaldo on the bench,
don't start the McFred partnership again.
Yeah.
Break that up. Start something new.
Yeah, and it like we said a moment ago, it does take years. Like, and United more so than anyone, it's not just going to be a quick fix. Right, we've got Ten Hag, who they supposedly want is the main man. He's not just going to come in and go and deal with those same group of players that have been there for quite a while now and only getting worse. He's not going to come in and go, right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to and then they're going to finish top 4. No way, not possible.
I mean, it reminds a little bit like the new thing. It might not work. Like I remember Arsenal did it with Unai Emery, and we lost our first 2 games of the season under him. But we had a newer team. Like he signed shit players, granted, but it was different to what Wenger had, and it was just he'd implemented a different style of play, and he had they're shit players. I'm about to leave them off, but Socrates, Guendouzi, Lichtsteiner, and Torreira. All started the first game of the season.
And he bought Pepe as well, didn't
he? But that first season, the first game of the season against City, I think it was. And when we were trying to play it from the back against City, which was just interesting, when you had Peter Cech nearly scoring 9 goals. But it was 4 new players in a new formation that we hadn't played before.
It was something different.
And it was new.
You were a bit optimistic.
So I could be like, okay, let's see how this goes, rather than start the same 4-2-3-1 formation for the same players making the same fucking mistakes.
And then that
is the most frustrating thing, when the same players make the same mistakes. It's just... Oh.
And that's what I'm almost laughing about, is in pre-season when everyone's United, look at... and like,
Martial's back.
Martial's
Ice
back.
cold Martial.
The little training videos.
The streets won't forget Martial.
Yeah, and it was like the most basic, like, up and down, sideways passing drill they were doing to warm up, which, like, pretty sure any non-league club does in the world.
Yeah.
And United were doing it, and they were like, Ten Hag balls in play, we're going to tear up the league.
It's ice cold Martial and NHS Martial.
It's embarrassing.
It's just, but even I think even Martial starting up front, it's something new. You haven't seen it in a year.
Yeah, he's almost like a new signing if he plays. But
I don't know who else is on. But even, I don't know how good he even is, but surely Ten Hag knows better than us, is Donny van de Beek. Still can't get a game.
That's what he was brilliant. I know. Again, it was only 1 season, and
the Ajax season they got to the final.
Yeah. When we were playing, but we were playing them. Sorry, and it was De Ligt, the centre half, Van der Beek, and
the Chelsea player, what's his name, Ziyech.
Yeah, and when Van der Beek come over, I was almost jealous. I thought, I'd love him at Tottenham, but like you said, he's come over and he's not got a chance, not got a minute. Ten Hag has coached
surely
him
knows him better than anyone.
Him before. Surely he knows how to use him effectively.
But is he not better than Christian Eriksen? I don't know. Yeah. Obviously not, clearly, because no manager has played him, fancied him. But it's just, they're so stale.
Yeah, I think
so stale.
I think currently as well, what's happening now, everyone is seeing from Fergie. Obviously, that was the pinnacle of Man United. They couldn't get any better. But from that, there's obviously going to be a drop off, and from that time to now I just don't know.
Just under 9 years, isn't it? Yeah. It's 10 years at the end of the season he left. Yeah.
They are just spiraling out of control, and no one seems to have a decisive plan. No one's going, right, this is what we're going to do. We are Man United. This is how we're going to move forward. But
there's no plan, is there?
Yeah, because they said, when they were buying players and bringing in new people, they were like, right, this is the Man United way and all this stuff. But right, so let's go and buy Ronaldo. Is that the Man United way? Is that?
I think that's when the wheels really did come off.
Yeah.
Because that's
a huge panic.
That's a huge panic. Really that got Ollie sacked.
Yeah.
Because before they're a bit like Arsenal at the moment. They had last season, should I say? They had a nice youngish team. They were doing all right. Probably 4th, 5th. I think they finished under Ollie. And as soon as they got Ronaldo, it was right. You've got to win the league now.
Yeah.
The pressure's on. Yeah. He isn't going to let you finish 5th.
No.
And when you start losing games, the wheels come. He gets stroppy. He throws his arms up in the air. He doesn't clap the fans.
Yeah, he walks off.
And it's his team after that. You then lose the manager. The manager's not the most important person anymore. You've got to keep Ronaldo happy. Yeah. Ronaldo doesn't start. It's the biggest news story going into the game. Yeah. If you lose, why didn't you start Ronaldo? Yeah. Why did you bring him?
And even that, if Ronaldo is 10 out of 10 every week, they're not gonna.
And that's exactly what Ten Hag's got now.
They're not. Doesn't mean they're gonna finish 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Like. He might be brilliant, but they've still got the shocking 10 players behind him.
Like you said, he scored 24 goals last season. Yeah. Who's going to score 4 goals for them? But if you don't play him, I think they're probably better without him. But if you don't play him, you aren't going to score the goals.
Yeah,
so
I think they, like we said a minute ago, but they need to just almost press the reset button, get rid of the likes of Ronaldo, start again, and just if they want Ten Hag, they've got to trust him and go. Right, you're the man for us. You're going to lead us out of this trouble.
Sort of what we did with Arteta. We gave him probably 2.5 years, where most owners would have just sucked him. You finish 8th back to back, ain't great.
No,
really ain't great.
No, it isn't.
But
no, it isn't.
He was changing over probably like 32 players, which is hard.
Yeah. And that's the hard thing about football as well. People want instant success, and Man United more so than anyone want instant reward and success, and that's the issue. And you, with football clubs and football, they're not gonna say. So, for example, United lost 4-0 at the weekend. They're gonna sack. They'd much rather sack the manager Monday morning than go 10 players. See you later.
Yeah.
We'll start again. They're not gonna do that. The manager gets the brunt of it all the time, and clearly from Fergie, they've changed their managers constantly. It's maybe they need to look at the team that they've got and the players they keep bringing in. They're the issue,
and the people above them who are just making the wrong decisions all the bloody time.
And I didn't think Ralph Rangnick was brilliant, but maybe that's because of what we're seeing now. Is that United are not brilliant, but the sort of things he said has come true, and he has been proven right. And he said one of the main things I always remember he said was, he keeps saying that you need top people in every area of your club.
Yeah.
And
not just
Tottenham
on the
are
pitch.
the best club in the world and the best team in England, but for example, this Patrice, he's come in, attracting players, working with Conte, close to Conte. We've got Antonio Conte, who's a brilliant manager, and that's what.
And on top of that, you've got a £1 billion stadium.
Yeah,
that creates revenue.
We've got the training facility. We've got Daniel Levy, whether you hate him or love him, but he has brought us to that point. And United just seem to be
in the mud,
totally in the mud, and long may it continue. But yeah, no, it's mad to see, because obviously I'm a bit younger than you, Tay, but even from me growing up, it was.
Oh, they were relentless.
Yeah, when I think of the Premier League, I think obviously going to Tottenham and seeing all the football, but I think Man United, they used to come out the tunnel and used to be Rooney, Scholes, Giggs,
Ronaldo
in his prime, Vidic, Ferdinand, Evra, even the goalies like Van der Sar, whoever it might have been, and you used to sit there in seats like, oh, okay, I'll take a 4-0 today. That'll be decent. Like, obviously we were a bit worse then, but yeah, and that United side,
that aura is completely gone.
And they used to run out, and you used to watch them on telly, and they used to just have that air about them that we are Manchester United and we are gonna destroy you. Yeah, absolutely destroy.
Well, they had that Old Trafford fear factor, and I think Fergie played a big part in that. I always remember the year he left. There's a brilliant stat I love that. It was no, because it's brilliant. I always wind Ben Graham up about it. Fergie there? 25, 30 years? Whatever he was there for. He when he was there, was never one game in any competition in all them years that they conceded more than 2 penalties, or was more than 1 penalty, in a game. Yeah. At Old Trafford. First season he left, they played Liverpool as well, massive game. Yeah. He had 3 in one game. That's another unpopular opinion I've got. Well, I say a conspiracy theory. Is the word. Conspiracy theory. Fergie had them refs on tap. They were under his. They were under his. They're in his bankroll.
Little backhanders, yeah.
They have at least 3 Premier League titles with asterisks next to their names that have been
even
horrendous to say. I know we won the league that year, luckily, but Mendes'
from
goal.
The halfway line.
Even thinking of another goal. Do you remember that goal that Gomez conceded? Nani's free kick, and the ref didn't even blow a whistle. He just kicked in his own goal.
And that's just 2 separate occasions from Tottenham, and
Well, I even go back to. I'm still stoked about this, but when Arsenal lost the 50th game in a row, when we lost our unbeaten streak, you watch that. It was a 10-minute clip of just horrific fouls after horrific fouls, and no yellow cards, and then Rooney gets a penalty, which is the winning goal. Yeah. And it's the biggest dive in the world, and old Mike Riley, straight to the spot, no doubt. Mike Riley was the biggest one, and Howard Webb. There's that famous picture, isn't it, that Nani had posted of Christmas Day with Fergie with Webb.
But that's what I'm saying. They, in that period, Man United were the Premier League, and potentially up until recently probably still are the Premier League, but they are so far in the mud. It's brilliant. Absolutely
long may it continue. Right, moving on. We'll quickly run through the remainder of the weekend scores quickly.
So Villa at home to Everton. They got a 2-1 win.
That was a really boring game.
Yeah, I did watch that one actually. Nothing.
Yeah, it was the one I watched actually.
It was before sundown.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that great. Everton.
2 mid teams.
Yeah, very. Yeah,
full of mid players.
Yeah, Gerrard versus Lampard. Who's the bigger fraud? Derby. It was just a pretty poor game to watch, and nothing exciting happened.
Yeah.
And I think that was the difference. Villa got Danny Ings up front. Everton don't have a striker at the minute.
And Anthony Gordon could be at Chelsea next week. So.
And also Everton's midfield two of Iwobi, Decore went off injured, and Tom Davis. No way.
Yeah.
That's as a centre midfield partnership in a Prem. That is bad news.
No, thank you.
That is bad news. Brighton 0-0. Newcastle again.
Not much to talk home about.
Yeah, I don't think it was that great a game. I think Brighton played better.
I heard Nick Pope had a good game.
Brilliant. 0-0 City, 4-0 Bournemouth.
4-0 and no Haaland goal. It's quite a thing.
It just tells you about the City, doesn't it? Haaland, I think, touched the ball at 8 or 9 times.
Yeah. Should have scored though when Foden didn't pass to him.
Yeah. But then, Haaland was non-existent. They still won the game 4-0. Southampton 2, Leeds 2.
Yeah, so it was 2-0 Leeds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Rodrigo got 2, and we'll talk about him in a little bit. But no, then Southampton to get it back 2-2, and them to get off the mark is good.
Joel Rebo, first Nigerian to score for Southampton in the Prem.
But 4 points out of 2 games for Leeds isn't bad.
Yeah, they've. I predicted them to go down, and Jesse Marsh gets sacked, so I might be terribly wrong.
To be rock bottom.
Yeah, we might be both terribly wrong, but they've started the season quite well, I think. Which is, I'm very surprised at, but yeah, they've started well, so I'm sure they'll be happy. Wolves 0, Fulham 0. Again, pretty non-eventful.
Mitrovic missed a late penalty.
Yes.
And then should have been sent off. Yeah, and somehow got away with that.
Mitro. First week was a god.
Absolute head loss.
This week has turned into a monster. I don't know how he got away with it. It was like 2-1.
Yeah.
Who was us? Was it last season? It was like a 2-1.
Yeah, Martinelli.
It was.
Because it was Arsenal, of course.
Yeah.
Against Wolves.
Yes.
He made 2,030 seconds and got booked for both of them. And never ever happened again. Never happened before and will never happen again.
It was a good decision at the time, but that's Mitrovic, similar situation. I think he made a foul.
And then shoved him and then was like got his face headbutted him.
Ramming his head through Morgan Gibbs' white forehead. So I don't know how he got away with it, to be honest. Forest, we spoke about Forest. Liverpool,
Scousers.
Yes.
Talking about people ramming heads through people's faces.
Yeah. Moving on nicely.
Mr. Chaos himself.
Yeah.
Darwin. It's not Nunez, is it? It's Nunez, or however you pronounce it.
I don't know. Job.
Pretty non-eventful game, really. It was Liverpool huffed and puffed.
Yeah, but I think Palace went with a plan like most teams do to City or Liverpool, and it worked. It worked quite well, and they were looking to get on the break. Zaha played through the middle, and
cracking finish.
It was a brilliant finish, but then after that finish, Zaha was awful, absolutely awful.
One other chance, didn't he? Was it the second half? Yeah, that he could have done a bit better.
Should have scored to make it 2-1, but he decided to go with his right foot. But
and great goal from Diaz as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, very good goal.
Cracking goal.
Very good goal. And they once Nunez went off, they actually improved massively.
Yeah.
So I'm quite surprised at that, but. Yeah, Nunez's red card was just an absolute head loss.
And a 3-match ban as well. It's just
head loss. And like Anderson's not a bad centre half, but there's a little clip going around throughout the whole game.
Yeah, it's about a minute and a half.
He just peppers him the whole game. Little niggly things, but like standard stuff. You just get on with.
Yeah.
And then, Nunez just
where it hasn't been going his way in that game. He weren't playing great, and he's just put his head through him.
Yeah, it was awful.
My God. And that brought the weekend to a close. And that'll bring this next segment to a close, and we'll be back in the next minute or so.
This week, we're going to introduce a new segment to the podcast. We're going to talk about Team of the Week, but a little slight twist. We're not going to do 11 players. We're going to maybe do a little bit what we feel might be a bit more exciting. So, Tate, obviously part of the Lager Laws, we're going to stick to brand and go for a six-side team. Sorry. And yeah, do you want to start us off with our choice?
Yeah, so we decided to do the 6-side, obviously stay on brand with Lager Laws, but also some feedback we had is to interact with the fans.
Yeah, engage your audience.
I do think eventually we'll probably have a little social media page, maybe a Twitter page or an Instagram page. But at the moment we're just off their own backs or just using Lager Laws for a bit of there. So the idea we had was to pick 5 players ourselves, agree on them, and then for the wild card pick is to put 3 out 3 or 4 out, and you guys, you listeners, our fans,
the fans listening,
get to pick
worldwide.
So this week we decided to play obviously 1 goalkeeper, 2 defence, 2 midfield, and a striker. We agreed on 2. We agreed on the goalkeeper, the 2 defenders, 1 midfielder, and the striker. And so the difference we had was the midfielder. We'll start at the back, and then we'll go on to the fans' pick, etc., etc.
And we sort of briefly covered some of these players throughout the talk, but the goalkeeper we chose was Henderson.
Dean Henderson,
Forest,
I think, very, very good.
Yeah, I can't
debut,
really argue that.
Clean sheet and a penalty save, man of the match.
Yeah. You can't really argue.
It was fantastic,
especially with the sort of the publicity he was getting before that game about United and what he was saying and the interview he had. So for him to play that well, it was very impressive. And obviously, I'm sure, like I said, there's a few.
And in front of Gareth Southgate as well.
Yeah, he was just brilliant. He just had a very good game.
Going on to the back 2, we've gone double Chelsea actually.
Yeah,
we've gone for both goal scorers. Koulibaly, I thought, started off a bit shaky, to be fair. Passing out from the back wasn't great.
Yeah, he didn't look great on the ball, but he grew into the game.
As soon as he scored, he just turned in. I think he must have felt more comfortable.
Yeah, and him and James was the other one.
James was a class all game, to be fair.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, they had our front 3, Tottenham's front 3 in their back pocket, and like if it was James pressing Son or Kane, then and he didn't win the ball, then it was Koulibaly who was stepping in and winning the ball and passing it on to Cucurella, whoever it might be.
And obviously a great goal, and should have had at least 1 assist when he put that on a plate for
for Havertz. Yeah, those two were brilliant. They were part of Chelsea's brilliant performance, and
I think they were 2 pretty obvious choices.
Yeah, you could argue that.
And then the next one we agreed on was Matthias Jensen, who got man of the match in the Brentford demolition of Manchester United. Scoring the second goal, pressing high all game.
Yeah,
like I said, got quote unquote the assist for De Silva's goal.
Played it to De Silva, who obviously De Gea then messed up. But
fantastic game,
Jensen,
game all season.
Yeah, I think they were raving about him for
weekend,
Brentford. So I think it was a good performance.
And then this is where we had difference of opinion in the midfield. So I elected to go with De Bruyne, and Jack elected to go with Josh De Silva. So we thought let's put them 2 into the vote, and then we thought who else was a good shout. Rodrigo. I sort of jokingly mentioned Granit Xhaka, but that got turned away.
No chance, never.
So I think about 20 of you out there voted, which was quite cool, and it ended up being, I think it was 58% to Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah,
goal and assist, pretty standard performance from him, but
and
the bloke's a class act, and
I've seen lots of reports they were giving him 8s, 9s out of 10. So I don't think you can argue with that. So thank you for voting.
And then the striker, there was only ever going to be one option.
Jesus.
Everyone's standout fantasy striker, 19 points in the bag,
although
2
I took
goals.
Him out.
2 goals. Controversial a bit. Well, if I had one more fantasy team, my number 1 rule is you cannot have any Spurs players in that team. I haven't for years. I've had to suffer it when old Son starts scoring or Kane, but I've had to suffer it. Be creative.
At fantasy, but I took Jesus out.
Jesus, 2 goals, 2 assists on his home debut. Should have had 3 or 4 goals.
Did he get man of match at Arsenal?
Yeah. He missed a sitter right at the end as well on his left foot.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, but could have had 5. So
and in that team, just may I add that. So 6 goals and 3 assists from those players we picked, and obviously a clean sheet from Henderson.
And a penalty save.
I'm not like big on stats, and that stats mean everything, but 6 goals between them is pretty good, I think. So.
But no, that'll be like little weekly sort of maybe every fortnight or something, little ad thing. And so keep an eye out for the the polls.
Yeah, and get involved. Message us, whatever, vote.
Yeah.
Give us suggestions, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So.
And if there's any other little things you want us to talk about, then you just give us a text or Instagram or Twitter or whatever. We'll put our little links in the bio for the foreign fans to see us.
Those across the world, you can get in touch. So let us know.
Yeah, and then moving on to the segment we started last week, which I think will be a keeper, is the winner/loser of the week. I think we called it the winner of the week and the dick of the week, but being PG, we'll keep it loser. PG. We have for them younger users out there.
So who have you chosen?
So I've gone for a team and a player for both.
Ooh.
Okay. I've gone for two.
Two for both.
Two for both. Yeah. So I'll start off with my winner. I've got obviously one obvious one, winner team Brentford.
Yeah, of course.
You cannot beat Man United 4-0.
Exactly, yeah. And that
and
I mean, I've said it before, but that score, if you just woke up and you saw Brentford 4, United 0, you'd think, what parallel universe are you in? That's absolutely. I'm sure Brentford fans can't believe it either, but there's not a day on earth that United should lose by 4 goals to Brentford.
Imagine that 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's absolutely mental. Brentford are a League 2 side, and they've scored 4 and not conceded against United. It's chaos.
And then, what was your winner? And I'll go into my
winner.
second.
I've gone a bit rogue. I'm not sure if it's in the rules or if I'm allowed to do this, but my winner of the week is actually Brad Potts from Preston. I don't know if you saw, but the goal he scored, they won 1-0 at Luton.
Was it that bicycle
the
kick? Yeah.
Oh my god! If you've not seen it, get on your phone now. Type
How
it
good is a
anywhere.
cross as well?
That's what I was about to say. Delivery was a joke.
Left-footed player. I think he's number 11. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
Number 11. He was sort of like left hand, left half of the pitch, like maybe 10, 20 yards from the edge of the box, and he just whipped this ball in, which is ridiculous anyway. And then Brad Potts, I don't know how, I don't know who he
got
is.
so high up.
He's just jumped. He's jumped the height of himself, and his legs have gone even higher, and just scissored it into the far top left corner. It was ridiculous goal, ridiculous. And I think I've seen it, but obviously if that was Kane, Messi, whoever, Salah, would be raved about all over the world.
What's the trophy
Puskas,
called?
yeah.
Puskas. Yeah.
I think it's got to be up there. It was absolutely.
That's quite funny actually, because obviously we haven't talked about this before.
Yeah.
I've actually gone outside the box as well on
really?
my player
For
my winner of the week, and gone outside the Premier League.
Okay.
And I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Sunderland. I have for years. It all started in a holiday in Portugal. And
I know.
I went on holiday there and met all the Sunderland players, and it was class. And I've been Sunderland away a few times, and obviously the Netflix documentary has got a couple of Sunderland kids. I just like them as a club. I just think they're quite a cool, I don't know. So I always keep an eye out for their results and just see how they get on. And funny, obviously they're back in the Championship this year. So it's the shout. So they were 2-1 up in the 92nd minute at home to QPR. And Seny Dieng, who is the QPR goalkeeper, scored from the corner.
Yeah, I saw that.
The corner went in, and it came out again, crossed in, and then Seny Dieng from, I think it's Senegal, scored the goal. So I thought, our goalkeeper scoring cannot get a mention. So if there's any QPR fans out there, then shout out to Seny Dieng. If I've completely butchered that name,
then
mad moment.
I do apologise, but that's quite cool with two little nice little winners there.
Bit of surprise as well.
Like you said, didn't actually talk about that before, but yeah.
And
so Brad Potts, huge.
Brad Potts and Seny Dieng.
Players of the week. My loser is, I've gone De Gea, but I've literally put De Gea stinker, but also ultimately Man United.
Yeah. So Man United I put them aside, and for your De Gea I've gone Nunes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because that is
the head loss, that is awful. It's
De Gea's had previous, but you can't. What was he? £80 million? Just go around and headbutt someone someone like that.
Yeah. It was a rough. It wasn't just your typical little like Mitrovic done. It wasn't your typical little head tussle and pushing and shoving handbags. It was a proper nut to the almost chin there. It was awful. Absolutely
shambolic. And one more note on that loser of the week. I have got to put an extra note there. Scott Parker, if you're listening, stop wearing that jacket.
He must have.
It was a new jacket, but it was still the four bands around the arm.
He's definitely got to deal with him.
Arsenal Brentford the week. Arsenal Bournemouth at the weekend.
Yeah,
can't be wearing that jacket. If you wear that jacket, that needs to be a loss.
That's good luck for him. No, I saw it and then I think I searched it and
I've got it in brackets on my notes. Scott Parker still wearing the jacket.
Yeah. And I looked at the company, whatever. I can't remember the name, but the jacket he wore the first week was over like 1,700, 1,800 quid.
God.
Yeah, it looks awful. It's like a dodgy Adidas, looky, awful.
So, on to the final part of the podcast now, and we'll go on to our Game of the Week prediction. So, as you listeners out there will probably know and would have heard, it is Manchester United versus Liverpool this weekend. And no, it's next Monday.
Yeah,
isn't
Monday
it?
night. Monday night football.
Jack actually sent me a stat last night, which is quite interesting. Obviously this podcast has been quite heavily Man United in the mud. If Man United win, they go above Liverpool.
Yeah.
I know, it's obviously
Liverpool in the mud. Next week, Liverpool are in the mud.
Klopp out.
Yeah, it's obviously, like we said, it's ridiculously early, 2 games in, but if United win that game, they do go above Liverpool.
Old Trafford under the lights.
Yeah, it is going to be. It's a big relegation battle.
So
that's what it is.
last year they lost 5-0. A Salah hat-trick.
Yeah.
It was a messy Sunday, personally, for myself. We got very drunk I watched it in the...
Ended up in the plough, didn't
we ended up in the plough. I watched it in the Fleece. Not empty stomach, absolutely battered. I got very told off with my girlfriend at the time for being very, very drunk. But so moving on, I reckon.
What you got?
I think I'm gonna be. I think it's gonna be a draw. As much as I want to say Liverpool are going to absolutely batter them, I just think it's. I know it's not a derby because it's not a local derby, but Man United can't turn up.
Yeah.
I think evening game, United crowd have got to be up for it. They've got to back that. United fans actually, the match-going fans, shall I say? Let me underline that. Match-going fans.
Those that live in Chelmsford.
No. Old Trafford actually isn't a toxic place. No, they actually normally do back the players.
Yeah.
But it's. I think I'm gonna go a draw.
Yeah.
Because Liverpool haven't set the world alight so far.
No, and if you said before the game, I've said 2-1 Liverpool. I just think they are.
I hope you're right. I hope I buy the beers.
I've said I'm going to go 2-1. I wasn't sure. I was sort of changing every now and then, but I think Liverpool are still the better side, or they obviously are still the better side. But yeah, I think before the game last night, without Núñez getting a red card, I would have said 3-4 0 Liverpool easy.
I think that's a big game change, because that changes.
Firmino, I think he's still injured or only just coming back, so I know they probably play Salah through the middle, whatever they might do, but they don't actually have a number 9 at the minute.
And it sounds too quote unquote FIFA-y, shall I say? But you just lose that Trent Cross Núñez header against Martinez. That whole thing, like he did it against Fulham twice. Like as soon as he came on, just whipped it in.
Yeah, I've said similar to you, but I said just Liverpool, like I said, haven't set the world light. They've sort of a slow start. They did last year. They clawed it back, but. Yeah, I just don't. They're very slow start of the season. United have been United, but like you said at home, they surely can't allow a drubbing. They can't. They just can't.
If it's a 5-0, just for argument's sake, does he walk? Does he get the sack?
Oh,
because
that's poor. That's
5-0 is horrendous. Is horrific.
Yeah.
I know it's just ifs, buts, and maybes, but 5-0.
Yeah, 3 losses in a row. That's their. I think. As it is now, the worst start in 100 years or something ridiculous. Like,
same for Liverpool though as well. The Liverpool have to win.
Yeah, no, it's a big game already. It's a massive
City
game.
have Newcastle.
Yeah.
And I know everyone has to play each other twice, but everyone gets the same fixtures, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But just for heaven's sake, if City win against Newcastle, imagine they do, they go 7 points clear.
Yeah, and that's I was about to say,
obviously Liverpool have a game in hand then, but if they don't win, that's still 6 points with
currently. Yeah, United are 6 points off Arsenal and Man City, and yes, everyone. It's very early on, 2 games in, but 6 points. Like Arsenal, not just going to lose 2 in a row, and United are going to win.
It is a bit disappointing personally that it's already only a 2-horse race with Arsenal.
Yeah, here we go. We'll wait till October. We'll see.
Wait till next week.
But yeah, no, I think.
So you're going to go 2-1.
I'm going to go Liverpool win. I don't think it'll be as terrible as everyone assumes it will be. Sorry. Sorry, I got
too much Peroni there, mate.
Yeah, a few too many beers.
I can't see it being as like doomsday as everyone says it is.
No,
it's Man United have got to surely show some fucking balls and turn
like
up.
You keep mentioning as well, the Liverpool midfield. Last night started with Milner. Who's it?
Milner, Fabinho, and Elliott.
Yeah, Fabinho.
I know Henderson was on the bench, but
it's not. Milner shouldn't be starting. He's obviously incredible professional, and he's fit as anyone, but he should not be starting.
And if Nat Phillips starts again, then you're in for it.
Yeah, and I don't think Nat Phillips is a bad centre half. Like he's not a bad centre half, but he's a massive drop off.
He's no.
He's not Gomez
or
Matip.
Matip, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're not. I wouldn't say
Liverpool won't win comfortably. I think it'll be a closer game than everyone is expecting. But I think Liverpool win.
Yeah.
Liverpool win for me.
I'm gonna go 2-2.
2-2. Okay.
And we'll see who gets the tinnies in next week.
Yeah. Hopefully you.
And hopefully you, because I want Liverpool win. But and that pretty much brings an end to the podcast. While we are recording though, because looking forward to next week. The Champions League draw is next week.
Big week.
Along with the mighty Europa League and the even mightier, massive, shall I say, Europa Conference League.
Yeah, huge. Who could Arsenal get in Champions League?
Champions League? You mean Europa League?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Arsenal didn't qualify for the Champions League.
Here we go.
Get in there!
While we're recording this, it is the qualifiers still, and as some people might know, if they know me personally, I've got a very good soft spot for PSV, and it's Rangers PSV. I'm not a massive Rangers fan, as the Cameron twins and their older brother will know. But I am recording this podcast in my 1999 PSV shirt.
Very decent
supporting
retro
them,
shirt.
and they did go 1-0 up about 5 minutes ago, but it's now 1-1,
it's
annoyingly. So I'll give a shout out to my Dutch friends, Raw, Chris, Yuri, and King Size. And hopefully they get to play Spurs again, because your brother actually went, didn't he, to the away day in Eindhoven? And it's Eindhoven. If anyone else wants to go, cracking city, great away day.
Yeah.
But that's hopefully something we can chat about on the pod next week.
Yeah. There's a few things we've got planned and in the pipeline and whatnot. So.
And like we said, if any of the listeners out there want to hear something or hear our views,
give us any advice. I know we've said before, but we've got loads of messages. It's brilliant. The support is fantastic, and little things you've been saying has really helped us. So hopefully, third time lucky, the sound should be better.
We hope so.
Yeah,
because I've been shouting into this thing. Hopefully, we actually had a bit of IT problems earlier, so hopefully we haven't just wasted the last hour and 6 minutes of our lives.
Otherwise the Acast robot will be getting abused in about 10 minutes. But
But no, thank you everyone for listening, and if you haven't already, leave a comment on Apple Podcasts or
give
5
us a
stars,
review, whatnot. Share it.
If
tell
that person
else.
left that 1-star review wants to change that, you can. But
whoever it is embarrassing. I've actually thought about it. It's you're not embarrassed. It's awful.
You are embarrassed.
It's terrible. 1 star on Spotify and podcasts. Just grow up.
Right, I think that's everything, right? And we will catch you next week.
Thank you.
See you later. Stay loyal.